In this video, we are going to, as we already know that kidneys are responsible for formation of urine, and each kidney is made up of the structural and functional unit called nephrons. So nephron, it consists of the following parts as in the previous video itself we have discussed. So let us revise once. It consists of four parts: the Bowman's capsule, proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, and distal convoluted tubule. So in this image, you can able to see clearly the parts of all the nephron. So this portion, it is called Bowman's capsule, and from here to here, this region, and it has convolutions, and that it is called by the name proximal convoluted tubule. And here the loop of Henle, it is straight and it doesn't have any convolution, and that's why it's called by the name loop of Henle. And here after that again convolutions you can find, so this is called distal convoluted tubule. And finally the nephron, all the nephrons will enter into the connecting duct. So first let us understand about the Bowman's capsule. So Bowman's capsule, it is nothing but it is very thin walled, and it is like cup like, it look like a cup shaped structure. So inside that cup like structures you can see a mass of blood capillaries, so they are called by the name glomerulus. So glomerulus is nothing but a mass of blood capillaries present inside the Bowman's capsule. And these two together, the Bowman's capsule and the glomerulus, together they are called by the name Malpighian tubule or renal tubule. So this is the structure showing the Malpighian tubule. So it includes the Bowman's capsule and the glomerulus. So as already we have discussed, Bowman's capsule is the cup-like structure. So inside that you can find the mass of blood capillaries. So this portion, it is called by the name glomerulus. Together the glomerulus and Bowman's capsule are called by the name Malpighian tubule and the renal tubule. And here you are seeing two arteries. See, arterioles are nothing but they are the sub branches of arteries. So you are seeing two arterioles. One is afferent arteriole and the second one is efferent arteriole. So afferent means to bring into. So this one afferent arteriole brings blood to the kidney, and efferent means to carry away. So this efferent arteriole, it carry away the blood from the kidney. Now let us understand about the proximal convoluted tubule. In shortly it is called by the name PCT, and this is also called by the name first convoluted tubule. And this is the first convoluted region of the tubule. And this PCT, it lies in the cortex region of the kidney. We have discussed in the previous video the structure of kidney. In that the kidney has two different structure, two different parts. One is the outer part, that is called cortex, and the next one is inner part called medulla. So this proximal convoluted tubule lies in the cortex region of the kidney. And next comes the loop of Henle. So it is the U-shaped middle part of the tubule. In the image already you have seen, right? And you have seen that it is not convoluted also. And this loop of Henle, it runs in medulla, and again it re-enters the cortex region. So, and when it enters again the cortex region, it is extended as distal convoluted tubule. So distal means further. So further means it's away. So it's away from Bowman's capsule. So it is the end part of the kidney tubule, and this distal convoluted tubule, it opens to the collecting duct, and the collecting duct receives the urine from many kidney tubules, and finally it will pour the urine to the pelvis part of the kidney. And this portion, distal convoluted tubule, it is also in the middle, it is in the cortex. And let us discuss about the interesting facts about nephron. Approximately, you can't believe, 2 million nephrons are present in both kidneys. And if you take the total length of tubule in each nephron, it can extend up to 60 kilometers. And it is all kept in a very small area. It provides large surface area. And you can't believe, so within like 1 minute, 1 liter of blood flows through the kidney. So how the blood supply to the kidneys happen? So first, the dorsal aorta, it will deliver it to the renal arteries, and from the renal artery, afferent arteriole take the blood and it will give it to the glomerulus, and from glomerulus efferent arteriole takes, and then renal veins take the deoxygenated blood and it will deliver it to the posterior or inferior. So now let us understand the formation of urine. The formation of urine, it occurs in three major steps. The first one, it is ultrafiltration. The second one is reabsorption, and the third one is tubular secretion. So let us discuss about the steps one by one in detail. First, let us understand what is called ultrafiltration. See, filtration you all know. So, filter. Here the glomerulus, it acts as a filtrate. So, the blood is entering through the afferent arteriole to the glomerulus. So, here the glomerulus, it acts as a filtrate, and it will allow only certain substances to pass through the Bowman's capsule. Okay, remaining substances are taken away by the efferent arteriole. So only small molecules are filtered by the glomerulus. So as glomerulus is doing the filtration, this process is called by the filtrate, whatever we got after filtration, it is called by the name glomerular filtrate, and the process, it is called by the name ultrafiltration. So if you look at what is the constituents of glomerular filtrate means, it consists of water, salts, glucose and other plasma solutes. And remaining large molecules, as already we have discussed, it is carried away by the efferent artery. Next, reabsorption process. See, along with the filtrate contains usable substances also, like water and other glucose and sodium. They are required by the body. So here these essential substances are reabsorbed, so in the tubules. So the entire process is called by the name selective reabsorption. Only selected essential nutrients are reabsorbed and it sent it back to the blood. So final step is the tubular secretion. So here what happens is the urine, it comes to the distal convoluted tubule now, and in this they may contain the potassium ions and certain substances. So the walls of the distal convoluted tubule, what they will do, it will reabsorb the potassium ions, but at the same time what happens is waste ions and hydrogen ions from the capillaries are passed into the renal tubule. So this process is called by the name secretion, and the secreted ions combine with the remaining filtrate and forms a urine. So the urine is nothing but the filtrate left after reabsorption and tubular secretion. So in this slide, we can understand which part of the renal tubule is doing the particular activity. If you take glomerulus, ultrafiltration takes place, and the Bowman's capsule. After ultrafiltration, the Bowman's capsule receives the glomerular filtrate, And if you take the proximal convoluted tubule, here the reabsorption of water, glucose, sodium and chloride ions will take place. And in the loop of Henle region, absorption of water and sodium ions takes place. And in the distal convoluted tubule, again the reabsorption of chloride ions and water will take place. Urine excretion. Once the urine is formed means it should be excreted from the body. So what happens is, from the collecting duct, it should be taken to the pelvis of the kidneys, and from there it has to be taken to the urinary bladder through ureters, and it will stay in the urinary bladder for some time, and once it is completely filled, the sphincter muscles will open and the urine will come outside. So this process of expelling urine from the body, it is called by the name micturition, or it is also called by the name urination, and you can say it as a voiding of urine. So I hope you understood about the process of urine formation and its excretion.